Mike, welcome back.
Thank you, guys.
You're becoming a regular.
We are.
Mike, very, very simple. Quite self-explanatory. Over your right-hand shoulder is the Fusion 3 Pro that we ran and you set up with us a few months ago. It's washed up now, tucked away, ready for its new owner. And but over your other shoulder is something that I have to say now on a personal level. It's not something I associate a lot with McHale. I see them on the stands when we're chatting, but my head automatically goes Fusion and now mowers and the grass side of things. But this is the other side of what you do. This is handling what you make.
It is indeed. It was a winter product that we thought about a lot, and we've seen an opportunity in the market to develop. Our baler business was very seasonal at the time before we developed the export market, so we felt, for the winter months of the year, we needed something else to be manufacturing. So the straw blower bale feeding machine fitted in very, very well. We're building the machine now about 5 years. Traditionally, we felt the machine was going to be mostly sold in the UK and French markets where they're heavily into straw bedding. But over the last couple of years, it's been a huge seller in Ireland, where a lot of people, again, are moving to straw bedding. Straw has gone very expensive the last couple of years, so people are trying to get more from their straw and less waste. As well as that, from a safety point of view, animals are getting harder to handle. It's not very safe to be in around pens spreading straw. From a health point of view with your lungs, there's a lot of dust involved. So more and more of these machines are being sold now on the Irish market to bed straw and also feed silage as well.
So Mike, it's a C460. Now, give us a little bit of an idea what that means.
We traditionally started off with the C460, the one model machine. This was built to carry 2 4-foot bales, but when we went into the marketplace, we discovered we needed to broaden the range. So we now build 4 models. We start off with the C430, which is a 3-point linkage machine. This is very suited to guys with smaller buildings, small doorways, maybe one access into the building so you can drive in, reverse out easily. The C460, which will be probably 50% of our production, which will handle 2 4-foot bales. We then developed the C470, which is 500 millimeters longer in the body, which will accommodate 2 6-foot bales. And then we have the C490, which is a new machine we launched last year, which can accommodate 3 bales. So gradually we're building the range up to suit what the market wants.
Absolutely. Now, just listening to you talking there, that's a thing as you go around the world. Ireland's very fixated on the 4-foot bale, I call it.
Yes.
But as you move around the world, a lot of bales are bigger. But regardless, this machine here, you make the range to accommodate whatever size of bale that you have made, basically.
Absolutely, absolutely.
How does it work? Because you've told me it doesn't require an awful lot of horsepower, hence we're going to try the little Deutz on it. So just explain the basics of the machine, because it's not something I personally would know an awful lot about.
The machine itself sits directly on the drawbar of the tractor, so it can sit on the pickup hitch or on the drawbar. We also do a version that sits on the lower links and pivots here at the base of the machine for smaller doorways. It drives down through the water sheet wide angle shaft at 540 RPM, and through a single feed of oil from the tractor, it's got its own valve chest and electronic control box in the cab, which allows you to make all the on-offs and adjustments as you're operating the machine. Power-wise, we're working between 80 and 100 horsepower ideally, but sometimes a little bit less will operate the machines. The front end of all the machines are exactly the same, so you've got the large blower housing here on the front with the chute on top. Directly behind it here we've got the rotor that drags the material from the bale, and then on the lower section we've got a slat floor which brings the bale forward all the time, so it's dragged off from the rotor before it hits the flywheel. The chute itself will rotate at 300 degrees, so normally we'll be feeding to the right, but occasionally we can rotate all the way around and feed to our left. It will allow us to move either side of the cab, so if we're in a building again with only one door, it will allow us to bed the forward pens. The flywheel itself, looking at it here, goes anti-clockwise, so we've got tremendous blow in this direction up to 60 feet, and just slightly less at 45 to our left. The machine itself is only 2 meters in width, so a lot of the traditional buildings here in Ireland will be maybe 10-foot passageways or 12-foot passageways. Yes. So we keep the machine quite narrow so it can distribute the crop to the ground if you're feeding cattle or cows. Or we can actually set the chute here at different levels so that it drops the material directly into a trough. And then it folds neatly away when in transport or not needed.
And did you say to me on the phone when we were chatting about it that, a lot of guys, you can put a round bale of silage in and feed it out and then pull forward a straw bale up over the top for bedding and stuff. And
yeah, that would be the normal run of the day. We'd pop a bale of silage in the back, we bring it forward, we put in our bale of straw, sit it on the back door, so we've got our 2 bales on board. A lot of guys will have the main farm just based here, and maybe they have to nip down the road to a smaller farm to feed, so they've got both bales with them. We'd feed the silage out along the passageway, get all the animals out quite close eating, and then we can basically turn around and put our straw in over their backs. If there's a little bit left, whatever, you could drop it back out on the silage, let them eat it up. So the idea of the 2 bales works really well in a lot of cases, yes.
Mike, I can't have you up here without asking. We've asked you every time we've met you this year, how's 2020 going for yous and McHale? Because we're towards the end of the year now. We first were chatting during the first national lockdown, both Ireland and the UK. We're now heading towards the end of the year, and the whole situation's not really a lot better.
It's not a lot better, Gareth, no. Unfortunately, we're back in a similar predicament again. Fortunately, from the factory end, we were lucky enough to stay open and keep supply on all the way through the season. Production never slowed down or never stopped. All of the machines we had on order went to the markets. And looking at the figures, the retails are looking good. So I'm glad to see that all the stock that was exported out has cleared and has been retailed. The agricultural job has been reasonably lucky that you know, the farming has remained reasonably good this year, and there's been huge grass growth, and the balers have sold extremely well. Straw is a little bit scarce and expensive now in the back end, and for that reason we've seen good sales in the bedding machines, because people are particular about the straw and where it's used and how much of it they use. As well as that, there's been a little bit of a move in certain types of farming away from diet feeding, where people just want a simple machine to feed out silage and bed straw. And that's where the C4 really comes into place.
Well, look, Mike, thank you very much for throwing it up, and we're going to get the wee Deutz you're going to show us now and see if we can make it work.
And
then we'll have a play. We'll have a play with it over the next few days and see how many cattle we can cover in straw. No.
It'll be fine. It'll be fine. I can tell you, it's a posh example compared to some of the machines we set these tractors up on. It'll do the job fine.
I know, but she's less than 80 horsepower. Don't let me down now, baby. Thank you very much, Mike.
You're welcome. Thank you.